Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm here with a special guest. I'm here with my friend Ashley Mareko. She is a 4-time surrogate and she's also a director at SurrogateFirst. And she is a surrogacy expert, I would say at least. So we're just gonna be having some girl talk. I had my embryo transfer today. So she's my support person and we're doing some bed rest together, just having fun. And we just want to talk some surrogacy topics or some cool questions.
Thank you for having me on your channel. I'm excited to be on bed rest with you. It's nice to get away.
Yeah, Ashley flew from Hawaii to Tennessee because she's psycho. But I'm really happy that she's here with me. We can spend some time together. I haven't seen you in so many months. So
not because I'm psycho, because I love you.
Yeah, I know. I just think you're crazy because the flights. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ashley, I feel like she's such an educated person when it comes to surrogacy. Can you tell us about, like, I guess your experience? Like, we all know that you're a 4-time surrogate, but like, I guess your experience in the industry.
Let me try to do a short story.
Yeah.
Like a long story short. Yes, I've been in the field for about, 10 years now. Had my first surrogate baby in 2016, and then I went 2016, 2018, 2020, and then 2023.
Yeah.
So I think from my firstborn child to my last surrogate baby was 21 years.
Oh my goodness. Me and Ashley, we didn't know this when we first met, but we were in the same transfer group.
Yes.
And we didn't know, but like that was really special to have surrogate babies like basically back to back.
Yes.
And then meeting each other and building this friendship. I think a lot of people want to know if they're curious about becoming a surrogate.
Yeah.
What would you recommend for them to do? Like, what would you do if it was your first time being a surrogate?
I would definitely social search. Like, make sure that this is something you really want to do. So, like, research, right? Understand the process, the realistic timelines, fair compensation, what types of families you want to work with, what type of pregnancy you want to have. Lurk in the group, search, TikTok, use ChatGPT, like get an idea of surrogacy. With our agency, we do have like free consults where we do the whole process timeline, the compensation, so that you have an idea of like the good, the bad, and what that looks like. And so I think that would definitely be it. Make sure that you're a person who's okay with compromise, because this is like two separate families. And so I find sometimes people come in very strong-willed, and it's important to have like, your values and your morals, but like any relationship requires compromise and communication. So if you are really bad at communicating, it's your way or the highway, like there can be a lot of problems for your journey on either side, parents and surrogates.
Yeah. I feel like for me, even though I did all these things, but I became a surrogate, in like 2022, I think, or the end of 2021. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But when I was first becoming a surrogate, it was so hard for me to find information about surrogacy on the internet. I was on YouTube. I don't know if I was on TikTok at the time, but I was on every social media platform looking up surrogacy, looking it up on Google, trying to find out information, and it was so little information that I could find. Mm-hmm. And that's why I joined the Facebook groups, and I thought I was educated going into it, but I think meeting other women, working for an agency eventually, there's a lot of things that I learned on the way, and I kind of taught myself stuff during the process. But now I look back on myself and my first surrogacy journey, and I'm just like, girl, I was so naive to everything. Yeah. But thankfully, it was an amazing journey, though.
I think everyone, no matter how much research you do, there's going to be things you miss. There's going to be things you learn. But I think when you go into it with the right heart, you see the best in the journey, right? Then you're experienced and you decide to do a second journey. You have a little bit more insight on what you like and what you didn't like. But definitely having like that positive mind, thought process is really going to help, because there's always going to be ups and downs, right? And there's risks and dangers. So like, make sure you're done having your own family. I know people are like, oh, I went through surrogacy and then I had my own baby again. But that was a surprise. But I've known surrogates who have had to have hysterectomies. And I know surrogates who ended up having complications and it wouldn't be safe for them to be pregnant again. So like, really making sure that you're done with your own family is going to be important.
I would say, what would you say to somebody that is trying to find an agency? What should they work for, and should a surrogate go with an agency? Because I personally feel like there is no benefit for a surrogate going independent. That is my personal opinion, besides saving the parents' money. Yeah. That is my personal opinion. But what would you say to somebody that is looking for an agency or deciding if they should go with an agency?
While I'm with an agency, I do see, I've worked with surrogates in the past as just a friend in the community, who have had poor quality agencies, who have had shady agencies.
Me too.
And so I can see where, like, in those aspects, like, it's hard to trust another agency or see the benefits in an agency when you've been taken advantage of, or you've been, left to like talk to your agency 3 times during the pregnancy, or they haven't given you the like 4th trimester support. And so I can see where people may go independent on that aspect of it. I've also seen women go independent when they struggle to get qualified with an agency, because the agencies have to follow the clinic requirements. And so there are people who I've, personally have applied with my agency, and we get to a point where like, hey, we can't work with you. Maybe there was like severe bouts of like depression or anxiety that like may have put them in the hospital. And so then I do see them out there trying to go independent. If the agency wasn't a good support, or maybe sometimes agencies will withhold like communication with the parents and the surrogate, and so they don't feel like they got to have that relationship. So I do see them go independent when they want to have a closer relationship, because it's only them to do project management. Right. But I really feel like a solid agency is worth their weight in gold, because that love, that support, the education, the not feeling alone, because there's times where I didn't feel comfortable like talking to my parents about certain things. And so being able to talk to, my coordinator and voice it with her and understand, and then get a different perspective to then be able to go to the parents with, or have the agency kind of like, talk about the topic with the parents prior to me having to talk to them. I think is really important. Sometimes when there's like bad news, or the OB or the high-risk doctor gives, something that's negative, I was able to have like a coordinator talk with the parents, prep them, talk to them about how like, hey, here's the positive side of this, or like, we're not going to take this as bad news. We're going to wait for a second opinion, and that would have been a very uncomfortable conversation for me to have. Even with my intended parents I've had, the 3 babies with, there were times where like escrow, starts to get low. I don't want to say like, hey, go ahead and, you're getting to that minimum limit, like put some more in there. Yeah. And so having an agency do that, like it was more comfortable. And then I think the strongest point is the surrogate sisters, like Surro sisters, like the happy hours and our cruise, and, having that like feeling of not being alone in the conversations, because I don't know how many surrogates are surrounded by friends and family who have all been surrogates, so having those people to talk to, and when you give birth, and like being able to like cry to someone and not cry because you're not missing a baby, right? I wasn't never missing a baby, but to be able to just say like, these emotions and these hormones are flushing my system right now, and when you're independent, like, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable going to the parents, and it's not the parents' job to like comfort me in that moment. It's their job to like be with their baby. They waited so long for their baby. Now they're finally taking care of it. It's kind of like a surrogate needs the support system to rely on after that moment. But I definitely think like benefits package, the support, the like-minded people, because the woman, like at our agency, all the women have been surrogates or intended parents. Yeah. And it's like, they understand what you're going through. They've been through it before.
If something happens, they're going to handle it. You don't want to have those hard conversations
Yes.
with family. And it's like, you can just enjoy your pregnancy. You can just enjoy this journey. And you don't want to worry about these negative things that you hear in the media, these horrible surrogacy stories.
Yeah.
Like the agencies, they're handling the background checks. They're handling working with the third party escrow. They're handling the support. They're making sure you have everything that you need. And that's why I always recommend going with an agency. But I think it's really important to go with an agency that is at least registered with Seeds.
Yes.
If you're going to go with an agency that is not SurrogateFirst, at least do that, please. Because there's just so much stuff going on in the media. And let me tell you, surrogacy is not like that. Yeah. Surrogacy is a beautiful thing, but you have to do it the right way with the right agency. And just because I know there's agencies that are offering unethical amounts of money, in my opinion, it's ridiculous, because I think we need to remember where the money's coming from. It's coming from these families. They want a child. They're saving so long. They're getting second jobs. They're taking out mortgages on their houses. And surrogates are getting paid decently. But the thing is, there are agencies that offer these unethical amounts because they don't care about the parents.
Yeah, I understand that. But I think it's the industry in a whole that needs to lower their prices. Like, as a surrogate, we're putting our bodies at risk, right, and our time. I personally had great pregnancies, so I was like, well, I mean, I work up to the day I give birth, and I go back to work pretty frequently after. So I didn't ask for a lot, but I think that, there are risks that we're putting on our bodies, but there are, there's attorneys and escrow companies and clinics and insurance products and
lots of variables.
Yeah. And so when you look at the overall cost, there's so many aspects of it for parents. I mean, if we could get health insurance to cover the surrogacy part of it, like, I don't know if many people know, but like we talk about surrogate-friendly insurance, but surrogate-friendly insurance just means that the insurance is going to cover our pregnancies with the OBGYNs that resulted from surrogacy. It doesn't actually include the screening that we go through in an IVF clinic, or the medications, or the transfer, the embryo transfer itself, because we don't have fertility issues, and it doesn't go under the parents' insurance. For us, because we're not a covered member under their plans. And so like that alone is quite a lot of money that could be covered by health insurance. I have a husband who is a bubble boy, and we max out our insurance every year. And it's because of, there's a lot of aspects, but part of it is because of his lifestyle and his eating habits and his exercise and the work environment he was in. And so I feel like these parents, infertility is not a chosen medical condition. So why can't we cover that if we can cover my husband year in and year out,
Right. I really hope that laws change for this in the future, because infertility, I believe, keeps rising.
It does.
Especially in other countries. Is it Japan, where they barely have any births right now?
Yeah.
The birth rate is so low in some countries.
I think for like some of the Asian countries, it's more of a standoff. I think, you might be talking about Korea.
Oh, maybe.
Where like I've heard that there's like this rise in like refusing to have children until like things change. In the world, it's 1 in 6 people suffer from infertility. In the US, I believe it's 1 in 8. And I think that's the last numbers the WHO organization put in, like the World Health Organization. I might be transposing that. It might be 1 in 6 in the US and 1 in 8 in the world.
Yeah, I think like at least 1 in 7, but it's so common.
Middle ground.
It's ridiculously common, and it's like everybody knows somebody that's dealt with infertility now. And I think it needs to be more easily accessible.
I think so too. Yeah, definitely. And there are a bunch of different trends, and we can go, and maybe in a different episode we can kind of talk about the world trends that are going on with surrogacy. But if the cost continues to rise in the US, I don't know how many people are going to be able to either come to the US for surrogacy or stay in the US for surrogacy. There are other countries that people are looking at.
I've been seeing that all the time now.
And the fact of the matter is that the U.S. has the most favorable, parentage laws and protections for surrogates. And so like this, I feel like this is the safest country to do surrogacy in. But if we've priced everyone out of it, then we're just left with the elites.
Yeah. A lot of things in the news about surrogacy recently.
Yeah.
And we want to talk about this agency where these, I don't know all the facts, but I think Ashley knows a lot more than me. But there's been a couple that has been arrested, I believe in California, with having over 20 children from surrogacy. Can you tell us about that?
So yeah, a lot of people may have seen recently that there was a couple out of California, and I believe it's 21 children at this point.
Yeah.
There's still surrogates that have children that are not born. But those children ranged in age from like 0 to 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're in this big mansion. And so allegedly, we're going to go off allegedly because I can't be sued, and I'm speaking as Ashley, just the normal human surrogate.
Allegedly.
I'm not coming from my agency and my opinion. So we'll just talk allegedly. But basically, they were having multiple surrogates. From the surrogates' accounts and the stories I've seen, the intended parents were also the owners of the agency.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
Okay.
I did not know that they were owners of the agency.
Yeah. And so there was allegedly one attorney that was continuing to write these contracts for the parents. I believe there's like 1 or 2 clinics that allegedly were going through all of this. So they had seen all these babies. But what ended up happening is there was a child abuse / neglect case that was opened up by the Child Protective Services in California due to one baby had been shaken, and that child like 2 days later was having like seizures, and so they took him to the hospital. When they finally took him, they found that. But I think there's been allegedly more than like 1 or 2 cases of abuse. In the end, what this looks like is that it could potentially be trafficking, because the sad side or the dark side of surrogacy, when things like this happen, is that these children are all born in the U.S. It gives them, birthright citizenship. Allegedly, it could be adoption, right? So like they come through surrogacy with egg donors, sperm donors, and then those children are then adopted to families, supposedly in China. So like, it's just a hot mess. What is really important is to talk about the warning signs. And so, and don't want to shame in any way these surrogates. They could, like, it's hindsight 2020. Like, we can look from the outside now and go, oh, look at all these
I saw
warning
this happen,
signs.
this happened, I should have known.
But
there's
when you're
actually
in
a girl in my county that is carrying one of the babies.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just like, oh my God, it hits so close to home.
It was all over the country. So it's not like it's just like this one community where like, oh, who are you caring for? Oh, Bob. And you're like, I'm caring for Bob. Like, it was literally all over. And it was very intricate. And so I think as a surrogate, our agencies recommend attorneys to us, right? If you don't want to work with your agency's attorneys to recommend, like, make sure they're Quad A certified, right? So that's AAAA. It's like the added in.
Yeah, we'll put it down there.
But I think it's like adoption, assisted reproduction, like there's a couple things. And so go with someone like that. Go with people that are on the SEEDS directory. Again, the SEEDS organization is self-policing.
Yeah.
So it's not 100% perfect, but at least there's something in place. So I would look over there. I would see the list that your agency gave you, cross-reference it with Quad A. Make sure that you're, going through that. There's ASRM so American Society of Reproductive Medicine has a website that has a list of attorneys. The other thing that is supposedly from this case is that the intended parent's attorney also held escrow.
Wow.
So, there wasn't a separate escrow company to say, why do we have 20 open accounts with these parents or 20 whatever open accounts, So I think going with like a reputable escrow company that's separate than the attorney, at least 100%. Then you have another place checks and balancing, because if they would have said, why do we have 5 cases open for these parents, 10 cases open for these
Yeah.
parents, 20, 25. I think that could have been a warning sign. We need to get loud as surrogates and intended parents really about like, see something, say something. Agencies, attorneys, escrows, clinics, like,
Protecting yourself is so important.
yeah.
And like, I know there's only so much that you can do,
Yeah.
but you need to protect yourself. I feel heartbroken for these girls that are going through this. I know one of these surrogates is trying to get custody of one of the babies.
Yeah.
I've seen a few other surrogates that are pregnant, but this is a really rare case.
Yeah.
I would say as well. But there can be a lot of fraud in the industry, and that is just really unfortunate to make something so beautiful so ugly when all these women had their hearts in the right place.
And there's a couple, I believe there is a couple of these kind of agencies, like two or three, that are being investigated right now. From this one coming out, now they're really putting a magnifying glass. Something that's important for surrogates to understand, and parents too, is that there are not regulations in this field. So literally anyone can open an agency. I had never heard of this agency previously.
Yeah,
until
I've
this
never
came
heard
out.
of them either.
It's important to go with a well-known agency. I get everyone starts off, and I'm not trying to make it harder for people that are wanting to open agencies, but like, go with agencies that have been around for several years. Yeah. You want to know that they're well established. One, so that they don't take off with your money if they held escrow themselves. They don't shut down in the middle of your journey. They have an ethical standing. They're involved in SEEDS and Resolve and ASRM and Quad A, and you, like, other professionals know them in this field, so that you're like, okay, they're well established. I grew up for the later part of my life in foster care. When I was my heart hurts for all of these babies that are in the system right now. As surrogates, we do this because we want to give birth to babies that are going to have amazing lives and that are loved.
Yeah. That's for sure. I wouldn't have done this if I didn't know the surrogate baby I was having wasn't going to an amazing family and was going to have the best life possible. But yeah, it's a really unfortunate story, but it's just kind of like a warning to people that
to be cautious.
Yeah. To be cautious, to do your research, to try your best, you know. Not everybody's perfect, but
yeah, and we can say these things now, right? But like, I don't think that any of these surrogates deserve any type of shaming, hate. Like, I can't imagine what they're going through. Like, surrogacy is such a hard journey, and we have so many ups and downs, and we have, while I loved every journey, there were struggles, there was sadness, there was frustrations, there was, headaches, there's side effects of pregnancy, and I can't imagine going through all of that to find out that who you were caring for was a lie. Know that the ones that are speaking out are getting hate and they're getting shame. Like, how could you not know? But like, you can't be held accountable for what you don't know.
Yeah.
They still did something amazingly beautiful, and I have to believe, like, on my end, at least with my spiritual beliefs, that like, that there may be, I'm hoping there's 20 families that dealt with infertility that would have loved to have a baby, that couldn't afford adoption, couldn't afford surrogacy, that may be able to have this child, and maybe this child was just meant to be in that home. Yeah. I don't know.
We can only pray.
I know.
I really hope. Oh,
it's just dramatic. And people like that, agency, allegedly, that are doing something like this, like, we don't know yet, right? So no one has been officially charged. Right. There hasn't been a court case yet. So it's just kind of like we all are just grasping at straws. But I think there's been a couple incidences in this field. We've had escrow companies close out.
Yeah, and stealing thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mismanagement, yeah.
I think it was in the millions. I might be wrong.
I just saw an article that said the first of the
payouts
was $1 million to go back.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're gonna end it with a more of a fun topic. We're gonna do Never Have I Ever Surrogate Edition, and we're gonna eat jelly beans like if we did it.
Because we can't do shots because Jasenia is pregnant.
Just kidding.
People pregnant until proven otherwise.
But it's good. It's good. I'm happy I don't gotta drink. I don't really like it anyways. Okay, first one is never have I ever cried at a heartbeat appointment.
Okay, so you eat one, right? If you have.
If you have. Okay. I did. I'm just like, have I been pregnant too many times?
I've been pregnant 6 times, so like the pregnancy
Yeah, I
brain
got
fog.
peppermint or something.
You can have another.
Oh my god, what flavor is this? It's nasty. It's sizzling cinnamon. It tastes like Fireball. Oh my god, they're nasty. Oh my god.
And then you like threw it all over the bed.
It's still gross. I'm not eating
You have to
it.
eat it. You have to eat it. There's nothing I can. Here, put it in here.
It tastes like Fireball. Y'all know Fireball tastes nasty. I thought it was gonna be nice.
Some people like Big Red Gum.
I picked the red one because I thought it was gonna be cherry. Never have I ever had pineapple after transfer.
I'll take one.
Okay, I never.
Really?
I don't think I ever ate pineapple after transfer.
So they say the pineapple core, the Brahmin, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like I would literally chew on the pineapple core.
I love pineapple though.
Yeah. But yeah, before and after, I always had it in my refrigerator.
I think I've heard about it recently that people do eat pineapple for transfer.
Yeah.
I know pineapple is a symbol of infertility. I'm like of.
It's also a symbol of swinging. Oh no, that's an upside down.
But yeah, I don't think I did it because I was just kind of like, I didn't do much. I'm just like,
French fry.
Yeah, French fries.
Oh, we should talk about that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what did we do after this transfer?
Okay, after this transfer,
We cried a lot.
Oh yes, it was so beautiful, guys. Oh, it was so amazing. But I did acupuncture before and after transfer, and guys, it made my body so relaxed. I highly recommend it. This is the first time I've ever done it, but I felt so relaxed and in tune with my body. And then we went to get hot pot.
Yes.
Because it's really good to eat warm foods,
yes,
especially like soups and broth. So we went to hot pot and also wearing like Lucky Transfer shirt, Lucky Transfer socks, and later we're gonna get McDonald's fries.
Yeah, we are.
Yes. Okay, the next one. What the hell? Never have I ever Googled how to pee with a full bladder before a transfer. No.
I haven't either. But I almost peed myself on the first transfer after transfer because they tell you to like have a full bladder, and I'm one of those overachievers where I was like downing like a half a gallon to like make sure like, well, if 2 bottles are good, 4 bottles are great.
Oh my god.
And I just remember like crossing my legs and like hobbling to like the bathroom, like, oh my god, pee myself. And then they're like, you can't pee the baby out, you know? And I was like, perfect, because I was fearful that like I had to be so bad that poor little embryo was
I'm still fearful of that. I'm like, because they just put the baby in and then it's just like, can it fall out? Like, because it's just so fragile, you can't even see it. So it's just like, can it fall out? You don't know. I don't know. I'm just scared.
Anatomy 101, different holes.
Well, yeah, but it's still like,
yeah,
fall out.
But you have like a fluffy uterus and it like burrows
Snuggles
in
them.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, next.
Okay, that one sucked. Okay, never have I ever said, this is my last journey, and did another one. I hope I don't get a nasty flavor. I'm scared. Should I go for another red one?
Do I go for as many times as I've said
Okay,
that?
I got a good one. Which flavor is this? Very cherry. I got the cherry one this time.
I hate the popcorn one.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna randomly pick next time.
Oh, I shouldn't have looked. I was cheating you.
I was cheating too.
Yeah, so I got 3 because, you know, I've said that from the very beginning.
Never have I ever done a shot in a parking lot. A progesterone shot. So I'm gonna eat one because I've done it in a moving car.
Okay.
Let's see. Bubble gum.
I've done a shot in a Target parking lot, but not an IV shot.
That doesn't count.
I'll get you one.
Okay. We're gonna do another one.
but not all pregnant. Ooh, pina colada.
Mine's bubblegum. Anything's better than that first flavor. That first flavor was gross.
Okay.
We're gonna do this one. You wanna read one?
Okay.
Finish the sentence. Just choose one.
Okay. The most unexpected thing was.
The most unexpected thing was how long the process is
To get pregnant.
to get pregnant. I didn't know how long the process was when I first was a surrogate. My first time being a surrogate, but I was a lot more patient back then. Now I'm not patient. Back then, I think my process was 8 months.
Which is kind of short.
I know. But I was just like, oh, I thought it would be shorter. I thought it might be like 4 months, but I didn't know everything that it went into.
The most unexpected thing.
Yeah, what was the most unexpected thing for you?
How attached I'd get with the intended mom. Like, I mean, I don't talk to my best friend on a weekly basis. So it's not like me and her are like besties who talk all the time. But like when they left, like I cried because like we had been in such conversation and such communication, like waiting for this baby to be born, that I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna miss her.
I know.
You know?
I felt like that too, because it was like I'm saying goodbye to this family I created. You know, like it was mom and dad at first, and then we invited this baby into the mix.
Yeah.
And then it was like, wow, like you guys like don't need me anymore. You guys are about to go like live your life and like
Which you're supposed to do, but it's like for us, it's like it's a sad season because I really love surrogacy and to say goodbye. And then like we said goodbye like 3 times. Now at this point, I'm like, I'll see you guys in a couple of years.
Yeah,
like,
it's very bittersweet. Like it's so beautiful because you're so proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And you see the baby, you see the happiness, you're feeling all of these emotions, and then it's goodbye. And see you later.
How soon after your first transfer did you start testing positive?
That is a good one. That is a good one. What is the earliest positive you got?
So my first surrogacy, we transferred to.
Transferred to.
I know, but it was like a long time ago, right? It's like before like people would like hang you for doing it, and so I had like really high HCG levels, and so I think it was like day like I want to say like night of 3 or morning of 4.
That's good.
But then I ended up bleeding with an SCH.
Yes.
Before heartbeat confirmation, and then there was only 1 in there.
Right. So it might.
So I don't know if it was like a miscarriage. I don't know if it but yeah, that was it. And then after that, they all came around like day 5.
Right. Yeah, I think I might have seen something night 4, but it was like really hard for me to see. So I was just like, I counted it as not. Yeah. Morning of 5, it was definitely there, and then I looked back at 4 and I'm like, okay, now I see it that it's dried.
Yeah.
My favorite IP moment was. I can tell you mine.
Please.
I think.
Yeah, please do. I think I need a jelly bean.
My intended father did not speak English, but he was so sweet. Like, when I tell you, if you guys know Minions, he reminded me of Gru. He reminded me of Gru. He was just like a gentle giant, and I just love that.
Yeah.
After I had the baby, we were like having like a goodbye dinner.
Yeah.
And they had their first son, their baby boy, and I had my 2 sons at the time. And he's just like, you 2 boys? We 2 boys.
Aww.
And it was just so beautiful. They only ended up having their 1 baby, but having a son was really special for them.
Oh, I do have one favorite. So, you know Ty, right?
Yes.
So Ty's my youngest daughter. And our first surrogacy journey, my intended mother took us out to dinner at PF Chang's. So we're sitting around this like giant table, right? And it's like American Chinese food, and she's from China.
Oh.
And so we're eating dinner, we're having a great time. And then it's time for like the dessert menu. And I tell my daughter, look it over and decide like you can have 1 dessert. And I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, my intended mom, the first journey, she spoke barely any English. Like, by the 3rd one...
I think I know what's going to happen.
She was fluent. Oh, yes. No, it's horrible. So I come back, and they're, like, giggling, and I'm like, whatever. Like, they're sharing a moment. Ty, you know, she's on the spectrum, so sometimes she thinks she's an alien. I guess clearly she thought she could speak Chinese.
Aww.
And then these desserts just start rolling out, like every single dessert on the menu. And I'm like, what is going on? And my daughter is giggling and she goes, Auntie Andy said I could have all of them. And I was like, what? And I look over and Andy's like giggling and she goes, yeah, all of them. And I was like, God, like I want to be so mad at you right now for ordering every single dessert. So my daughter's like in sugar heaven. But I was like, what a sweet thing. Like she found so much joy in spoiling my baby.
That is such a beautiful moment because it's like that's going to be one of Ty's memories.
Oh,
forever.
Ty loves it. Yeah.
Like my auntie Andy bought me all the desserts
on
the
the
restaurant.
menu. Yeah.
Oh, that is so sweet. Okay, we'll do.
And Andy still
one more.
when we went to China, she had us try like all the food, right? So there was one day where we had chicken feet.
Yeah.
Like we had chicken feet. We had every part of a pig. Like we had all different kinds of chicken parts, like organs and stuff. But Ty is such a good like sport that she literally ate everything. And so one day, like maybe a couple months ago, Andy sent me a picture. She's like, I miss Ty. And it was Ty like chewing on a chicken foot. And I was like, oh, you guys, you two and your food. Like,
oh my God. That's their love language. That's their love language.
Oh, she would totally steal Ty.
Aww.
She would totally have Ty come
Take
over
her
there.
for the summer.
Yeah, she's like free childcare now that she's got all these babies.
Yeah.
What is your biggest mistake you made during a surrogacy?
The biggest,
like the biggest lesson you learned or the biggest mistake?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I need a second to think.
Okay.
Do you know yours?
Yeah.
Okay, you can share yours while I think.
Okay. So with my first surrogacy journey, I had just done the transfer. I was a couple weeks in. And I was invited to go to, so I lived in Las Vegas, and I was invited to go to Laughlin, which is like south of Vegas, for like a country, concert. Like it was just a couple girls from like, I don't know, my bunco group or something, or maybe even Bible study. And it's a couple hour trip. And I like get down there and I'm like getting everything situated in, in the room. And I'm like, oh my God. I forgot my progesterone oil. I literally had to I had to have my husband drive like 2 hours. I had to drive like 2 hours. I don't know. It felt like whatever.
Yeah.
And get it in time and then give myself a shot on the side of the road. Like within I was literally 15 minutes from like when it needed to be done. God. And it was before? So panic.
After you were pregnant. Oh, that's so scary. So mine has to do with progesterone. As well. If you guys don't know about the injections, you have the vial of medicine and then there's 2 needle sizes.
Yes.
There's a smaller needle and a bigger needle. The bigger needle you use to load the progesterone into the needle, then you switch to needles.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
You were giving yourself
giving myself the big shot. The huge needle, do you know the gauge?
18 and 22.
Yeah.
So 18 is bigger than 22, I believe.
Yeah, so I was giving myself an 18 gauge shot. And I had no idea, because I was just like, I didn't know for a while that I was giving myself the wrong shot. Crazy that both of ours is about progesterone.
So always make sure you pack your medicines first. Always pack more than you need.
Yeah.
Never pack them
Order extra.
Always order like at least a week before you need your meds.
Yeah.
When you're traveling for transfer, always bring it in the carry-on. You can bring needles and medicine in your carry-on.
Yeah, I do that.
Because if your bag gets delayed, if your bag gets lost, you need those medications. I feel like I had 4 times success, so 4 transfers, 4 babies, because I never took my medicine more than within a 15-minute window, 20-minute window of when it was supposed to happen. So MediSafe is a free app where you can put in all your medications. It alarms, and it's a very aggressive alarm. Use that.
Yeah.
Don't forget your medicine. Like it was like the biggest fear. And like I know people will say like, oh, accidents happen, or you missed, you could miss a medication or whatever it is. But like, do you really want to take the chance that like the one time you slip up and then you lose the pregnancy, and it may have never been about that, but like I feel like I would have lived the rest of my life had I not got that rectified in time of like, oh my gosh, like I'm the reason for something happening. Yeah.
I want to say thank you guys for hanging out with us. This was fun. Just some surrogacy chats.
Yes.
If you guys have any questions for us, drop them down below. We would love to answer your questions or any video ideas. Or I'll try to have Ashley back on in the future. We're really good friends, but she lives so far away, so that's the problem.
We could get in both of our beds and then just this is how we could hang out on a Friday.
Split screen. But thank you guys for watching, and make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
And if you do that enough, she's gonna make enough money to bring me back with her.
I want to move to Hawaii, y'all.
Okay,
can y'all,
she can come to Hawaii. We could do it in a hammock, at the beach.
That would be cool. All right, guys. Bye.